Hey guys, what's going on? It is the Rock 30 Rewards edition of Grand Forks Game Hunting. It's the second episode of Rock 30 Rewards. There's some other stuff in here too, some thrift store and pawn shop pickups. First up, gonna start off with this. GameStop. It released last week. GameStop exclusive. Xbox One lunar white controller. It is absolutely gorgeous, and I don't know, I'm going to put it as close to the camera as I can. Yep, it'll pick it up right there in the center of the face buttons. They actually have the corresponding colors of each button because it's a black and white look. And I'm wondering if they did that because they had some negative feedback on the monochromatic, the gray Xbox 360 controller had black and white gray grayscale buttons, and I'm wondering if they got some negative feedback from that, from people saying, hey, I can't tell which is which, or I play with kids and I play with little kids yet and they don't read well, so they need to have the color codes there. But I haven't opened mine yet, but this is an absolutely gorgeous controller. It's got some gold accents on it, just a really sharp looking controller. Then I went over to Dakota Boys Ranch, or Another Chance thrift store. I don't know what they actually go by anymore. Excuse me, it's 6 in the morning, so I'm enjoying my coffee. And this time they didn't pick up any games, but I got gaming stuff. First up, I don't normally go for these, but they had it brand new for $8, and that's the Nyko modular charge station. It comes with rechargeable batteries. I figure the worst that could happen is I don't like it, and for $8 I'll just trade it in, because I always try to keep the packaging so it'll be complete in box when if I were to trade it in. And then this one was absolutely shocking to me. I grabbed 3 of them this week at various thrift stores, but this one was absolutely shocking to me. They had a copy of Mario Kart for the Wii, and Another Chance thrift store, I've overheard them say when I walk in, yeah, our manager checks out Amazon and eBay all the time to see what we should be selling our video games and our like records we know are going to be more expensive, blah blah blah. And I will say this, that kind of rubbed me the wrong way, because thrift stores operate on the general good nature of people saying, I can't use this anymore, so you use it. And I don't have a problem with them making money off of it by any means, but they're asking $40 for a copy of Mario Kart for the Wii. Meanwhile, they had this on the shelf in the back in what I would consider their junk area, and this is the official Wii steering wheel for Mario Kart for $1.99. So they're asking $40 for the game, and actually not realizing that the official, as I said, you can see that there's the Nintendo logo right there, the official Nintendo Wii steering wheel. Now, it's a little bit cruddy and dirty, and I gotta clean it up, but everything functions. The B trigger works. Like I said, dirty, but it works. Speaking of which, these were both at Goodwill for 99 cents, and while they're not the official ones, they're still the steering wheel. And when I played Mario Kart with my dad, he wants to use it as a steering wheel, which is great because that's what it's for. I don't know what game these came with. This might be, no, it's not even with the GT. The GT game. I don't know what games these would have come with, but here's some off-brand steering wheels for the Wii. Both of them are similar, and yet at the same time they're similar in shape and form. One's a little bit smaller, but they're both off-brand steering wheels. So I have a set of the Wii steering wheels and a set of off-brand ones now. Another Goodwill pickup, that was Asphalt Urban GT. This was 99 cents for the Nintendo DS. It's complete. I like the drop-in, drop-out racing style games, and this one's more arcadey. This is, not a heavy time investment. And for 99 cents, if I don't like it, big deal. It is made by Gameloft. They're famous for making mobile games, so they have that down pat. They get what people are playing mobile games for a quick experience that not always are people getting that to invest, to have a sit down of like 100 hours on a mobile platform. Then it was a handful more of thrift store pickups. This was at Goodwill. Sprint Cars 2, Showdown at Eldora. I don't see it out there that often, and I played a little bit of it. It's decent sprint car racing. It's got late models, wing sprints, pro stocks, wingless sprint, and tractor pulls. The tractor pulls were actually really fun. I think I get my dad hooked on the tractor pull part of it. So yeah, Sprint Cars 2 Showdown at Eldora. See that I got it for $2.99, and I see that it still sells routinely for about $10, so that's all right. And I saw when I was actually at Rock 30 that they were selling one for $12, so that all right. Then I got a copy of Bully for the PS2, complete in box, manual, and map poster, whatever you want to call it, are all there. Glad to get that. Then this one, kind of an uncommon to rare game. Its value holds it holds decent value at about $14-16, right around there. And I didn't even know that they had done one for this. And when did it come out? 2006. So towards the end of the PS2's run. And when I say 2006 as the end of the PS2's run, I mean it was coming to its end of dominance. The 360 was rolling out, PS3 was ramping up, so yeah, and the Wii was out, and so the PS2, while still being a lead platform, was certainly its era of dominance was over. But pretty incredible 6-year run for the PS2. Anyway. This is the Fast and the Furious for the PS2, and I know there's that other Fast and the Furious game. I can't think of the name of it off the top of my head, but I was actually impressed. I popped this in, and it actually looks, still looks pretty crisp for a PS2 game. Clearly not amazing, but you're not going to be wowed by it. But as far as racing games go, this was actually still pretty crisp for a PS2 game. I was impressed, and I got this for $1 at St. Vincent's, and or it's called St. Joseph's now, and they've been kind of picked over lately. A lot of shovelware for the Wii. The best thing they had there was that Elevator Games that I recently picked up, so I didn't grab another copy of that. But this was $1, and I see that this one, like I said, anywhere between $14-16 for a copy of it. New copies still sell for right around $25 to $30 on Amazon. So. Yeah, I'm glad to get it. Played just maybe 15-20 minutes of it, and was actually impressed with what I saw. You can tell they put a lot of money into making the Shelby Mustang, the Shelby GT Mustang, look really sharp, which is cool because I guess I kind of grew up a Ford guy. My dad was a Ford mechanic for close to 40 years. So yeah. All right. Then there was. Let's see, there was a handful of games that I picked up because they're still running 25% off sale at First National Pawn. So I picked up everything I had. Everything I picked up, I don't have. This is for my Xbox collection. I see that this game at one point belonged to Eric, and I do need to track down a manual for it. The one thing I don't like is that this is one player. But my girlfriend absolutely loves this game. These games. She loved Pac-Man World on the PS1, and this is Pac-Man World 3 for the Xbox. Like I said, don't have it. Luckily, the writing for this is on the outside of the case, and I have an extra case. This one is fairly uncommon, and I'm going to have to track down a manual and artwork, as it has... actually, the price tags are coming off pretty easy because they're actually pretty dried out. So maybe I'll just track down a manual. But this is fairly uncommon. This is Star Trek Legacy. I might actually loan it to my buddy Todd and see what he thinks. He's a huge Star Trek fan, and he's also more patient with the sort of strategy-based games than I am. But, yeah, fairly uncommon. They originally had this marked at 30, and they had it marked down to 18. And I see that somebody, judging by the collection of price tags that were on this was originally bought at a GameStop, then traded into our Rock 30, and then sold off at First National Pawn. So, yeah. Then another fairly uncommon game that I don't see out there, and I now have, I believe I have both or all of them that came out for the Xbox, the original Xbox, and this is Worms 4 Mayhem. Glad to get it. The price tag that's on here has it marked at 10, but it wasn't 10, it was 6. 25% off of that, $4.50. Then another one I know A. Crosby, one of the nicest people I've met through YouTube. A. Crosby is a big fan of the Pinball Hall of Fame collections because as I understand it, he used to repair pinball machines. So I picked up this for the Wii This was marked at $8. This with the 25% off, it was obviously $6. All right, on to the Rock 30 rewards. I picked up some amazing, amazing stuff there. First off, I'm going to start off with the odds and ends. Zombies Ate My Neighbors for the Genesis. Not really going to explain what this is. This is sort of a... It's actually not that rare. It's just that it's an amazing game, and people don't really tend to sell it back that often. So, yeah, glad to grab that. This one is on the rare to uncommon side, and I'm going to have to clean it up. The cart is a little janky with some rental stickers on it and whatnot. This is Time Killers. It's a fairly brutal fighting game, and it's not a great fighting game by any means, but it's an important piece of gaming history, as in it was... it's similar to the NBA Elite game that came out but didn't come out, where some copies got out there but was actually not officially released, and EA pulled them back before that. Same thing happened to Time Killers. It was originally an arcade cabinet an arcade game, as I understand it, and when it got ported over, it got reviewed a full like 14 or 16 months before it actually made its console debut. So this is a fairly hard to find game for the Sega Genesis, and it's got instant kills. The fighting in it isn't terrible. It's just, man, it was going toe to toe with Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat and Fatal Fury to a lesser extent. Fatal Fury is my favorite fighting series, but it never, honestly, you can't say it ever attained the heights that Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat did. That's nothing against it. That's just the reality of it. Then I'm hoping I can find some artwork for this, because it came with a manual. But I've said before, shooters are some of my favorite games, and I had this originally for the PS1, and I kick myself every day for having sold it off originally. And this is not my copy. I didn't go get my copy back because I sold mine off years ago. Well, I guess maybe it could be if it stayed in Grand Forks, but I doubt that it actually did. And I have talked about this before. Working Designs knew how to make manuals. Their manuals on the PS1 are absolutely gorgeous. It's got sort of a metallic gloss finish to it, and they are absolutely stunning. And moreover to the fact that, I've talked about this, that this doesn't happen anymore, is these awesome just full color graphics on the disc itself. Nobody does this anymore. Working Designs did, and the Thunder Force 5 one is no exception. Just really beautiful. Just the disc itself and the artwork is beautiful. But yeah, Thunder Force 5, perfect system, awesome shooter, one of my favorites. Like I said, should have never sold it off in the first place, but I did. All right, let's see. I'm gonna break these down by console now. Didn't mean to drop that. All right. Sorry, just bear with me for 1 second as I break this stuff down by system. And they didn't really have much other than that game over there that I wanted for the PS2 or the PS3. There was some Super Nintendo stuff there, but even the Super Nintendo stuff, with all the trade credit I had built up, was a little too rich for my blood. There was one PS2 game. I take that back. All right. Sorry, I should have had these sorted before I got to this point, but oh well, we'll deal with it. All right, let's get to it. But I'll do the one PS2 game. As I said before, my girlfriend absolutely loves Pac-Man, and this is not a great game by any means. It's sort of a Mario Party-styled Pac-Man. This is Pac-Man Fever. Everything I got here, when it was all said and done, I owed Rock 30 $31 for everything I'm about to show you. That includes, and I'll do a recap of the Rock 30 stuff. Pac-Man Fever for the PS2, straight up Mario Party clone. This is one of the best games on the Wii, hands down one of the best games, an amazing game. Sort of Jenga meets Tetris with kind of a single player. I don't want to call it a campaign, but there's definitely a defined single player mode in this, and it's a lot of fun. This is Steven Spielberg's Boom Blocks, really fun puzzle game. And then two uncommon to rare games on the Wii. First up, couldn't pass this up. It had just come in the day before, and that is Sakura Wars: So Long My Love for the Wii. It is NIS game, and you know my love for them. They're one of the few companies that has made turn-based games fun for me, and I don't know why that is. But then for the Wii, a complete inbox. I don't know who the bloody savage was that traded this in, but a complete inbox. Kirby's Dream Collection supports the GameCube controller, classic controller, and obviously the Wiimote. But yeah, complete in box. I don't so much, I've said it before, I don't so much worry about condition of box as long as the artwork is all there and it's got some shelf wear and from opening and closing it. But I'll put it in I'll play it, and when it's not getting played, it'll be on the shelf in a collector box. All right, then a couple of 360 games that are 360 games that are getting harder to find. This is interesting. I wanted to buy this specifically because I've had a hell of a time tracking down the artwork for it. So I bought this. I'm still going to have to get a manual. I bought this, but unfortunately, as Wade that worked there pointed out to me, it was actually traded in wrong. I got the bigs, and I wanted this version, the Justin Morneau version in his Minnesota Twins jersey. So I wanted this version. I know there's, I think is there an Albert Pujols version as well? But this didn't have a manual, so I'm still going to have to track down a manual. But the Bigs 2 was in here, so I now have a loose copy of the Bigs 2. Up next, this one is a fairly rare and sought-after game, Lord of the Rings Battle for Middle-earth 2. And I've played this before, and it's an actually really competent console-based strategy game. A lot of fun. Looks pretty sharp still to this day. I can tell that EA, and was it just straight up? Yeah, it was just EA. I can tell EA put a lot of effort into making this a playable console strategy game. Then I'm going to have to get artwork for this because it's rental artwork, but it's still in good shape. I got to replace the case. And this is definitely another one that's sought after and hard to come by. Lord of the Rings Conquest. Now, this got middling to average reviews, but I had a blast playing this. You could play as the... You could play as good or bad, and it was from Pandemic, so I want to say it was built on the Star Wars Battlefront engine, or a modified version of the Star Wars Battlefront engine, if I remember correctly. All right, then on to the Xbox odds and ends, and nothing I got on here, nothing I got for the Xbox, is completely hard to find. There are some rare games in there, and as I said, I now believe I have to look over my collection, but I believe I have the complete Worms collection for the Xbox. Here's Worms 3D, one of my favorite games. Still looks great to this day because, as you know, I'm a huge cel-shaded fan. Ultimate Spider-Man. Here's another game that still looks great to this day, and actually is a lot of fun, because I've said it before, this is a throwback to the Scooby-Doo from when I was a kid, not the current Scooby-Doo, and that is Scooby-Doo Unmasked. A lot of fun, and it's a THQ game, so we'll probably never see these ever again in any form. So a lot of this stuff, when I collect it now, is just for, I want to show my niece and nephews, this is what they looked like this is what games looked like back in the day. Now, this is a very weird and bizarre fitness game in the fact that it doesn't support motion control. It's just like a fitness coach where you follow what's going on screen, but without any motion control, and that's your self fitness. And it is a fairly uncommon game, and I'm glad to get it. And it's a very weird fitness game in the fact that there is no motion control for the original Xbox, and it's not for use with any of the dance pads either. So to me, it's a very bizarre fitness game. Not necessarily a bad thing. And this will I'll pop it in and go through a couple of the routines just to see what it's like. But it's very bizarre to me that there was a fitness game like that released. All right, and then. I try to have the price tags cleaned up on all these before I do it, but I didn't for some of these. Here's a fairly uncommon one for the Xbox. Uncommon on the Xbox is fairly uncommon, and they can even be rare in some cases, but not particularly expensive. There's the Holy Grails on the Xbox, but there's also some uncommon ones that are still not that expensive. And this is Myst 4 Revelation. I'm not a huge fan of the Myst series, but this is console-wise an Xbox exclusive. It's it's a standard Myst game, an adventure puzzler. So I will have to check this out. It says record your discoveries. I'm wondering if it has a photo mode, and it has the weird Xbox Live Aware thing, which if I remember correctly, it would post stuff. But I think that's it. This is Myst 4 Revelation. Recently picked up Broken Sword 4 as well. So as you can see, I'm on a bit of an Xbox adventure puzzler kick right now. Up next is, God, this game is terrible, but it's terrible in a way that deserves to be played, and that is Backyard Wrestling 2. There Goes the Neighborhood. Obviously, that's Violent J, I believe, from the Insane Clown Posse. I'm looking at this. Oh, they've got New Jack, Insane Clown Posse, Porn Star Tara Patrick, Vampiro, and Andrew WK, and I didn't realize that Andrew WK was in it. So now I'm definitely gonna have to play some of it just to see what it's like to play. It's not a great game. I've played a demo, and I think if I remember correctly, you could play as Insane Clown Posse and maybe New Jack in the demo. I can't remember off the top of my head. And I got this. This is iNinja, pretty cool action adventure platformer from Namco. It's you gain new abilities, new weapons. It's in that vein of was it Metal Arms, A Glitch in the System, Rough Trigger. These sort of what would be considered, they got A-level effort behind them, but B-tier platformers because they weren't Mario, they weren't Crash Bandicoot, they weren't Spyro the Dragon, they weren't Sonic the Hedgehog, and by that point Sonic was pretty much all but dead anyway. But anyway, this iNinja is a load of fun to play, and on the Xbox version in particular, still looks really crisp and sharp. Your ninja he's got gains new abilities, etc. And he's sort of lopsided. He's got a very large head, so he's got a lot of rolling attacks and spinning attacks, which is really cool. This is still a blast and a lot of fun to play. And then last but not least, a fairly uncommon game on the original Xbox, and I see its value for whatever reason. This and Deception have climbed, and Shaolin Monks have climbed in value over the past few weeks, or past 6 to 8 weeks, so past couple of months. I don't know why. It can't just be specifically because Mortal Kombat 10 came out, but whatever. This is Mortal Kombat Armageddon, and on the back it's got, right there, this alone makes it worth it for me. It's got Mortal Kombat karts. It's got a Mortal Kombat kart racing game in it, so that's pretty amazing to me. I'm not going to go over everything I got. I'm just going to go over the Rock 30 reward stuff I got. Like I said, when this was all said and done, I owed them $31, and with some of the stuff that's in there, it's pretty impressive. Time Killers for the Genesis. Zombie Ate My Neighbors for the Genesis. Thunder Force 5 for the PS1. Kirby's Dream Collection Special Edition for the Wii, Sakura Wars for the Wii, Boom Blocks for the Wii, Pac-Man Fever for the PS2. Let's set this guy right here. Mortal Kombat Armageddon for the Xbox, iNinja for the Xbox, Backyard Wrestling for the Xbox, Myst 4 Revelation, Yourself Your Fitness, Scooby-Doo Unmasked, Ultimate Spider-Man, Worms 3D, Lord of the Rings Conquest, Lord of the Rings Battle for Middle-earth 2, and the Bigs. And I'm sure you noticed over my shoulder, right over there, is a stand-up life-size cardboard of Boba Fett. He'll be a permanent addition to the show. My best friend Jason, who lives in Chicago, when he moved away, he had that in his apartment and he gave it to me, and he said, at least I know that Boba Fett's going to a good home. For the longest time when he had him in his apartment, it was hilarious to watch people stumble up the stairs when we go there for after bar parties, and they had him wearing a sombrero, so in the dark it looked like a dude standing there with a really creepy hat on, and it was always funny to see new people come up there and lose their shit because it looked like some random weirdo was standing there in the dark staring at them. And the hat made it even better. So yeah, had a really good week at Rock 30. Had a really good week in general, just picking up some odds and ends out there, and I'm happy to do it. I said I was going to post some gameplay videos, but again, with the two jobs, it's a zoo at one of them right now. So I didn't get to getting any of my gameplay videos finished and edited and put together, but they are coming, and I know I've promised a game room tour. As you can see, I've cleared some more shelf space down there, so I'm slowly rearranging everything again, mainly because I got some more storage in my basement down here. So I am hoping to get a game room tour before Halloween, and I've been thinking about doing a Halloween spectacular of my favorite horror games. I will probably the week of Halloween I'll do a stream of maybe Fear 1, outstanding game, but as it stands, I don't know if I'll have another pickup video this week, but I'll probably get around to finishing the other gameplay videos that I've put together and finally get those posted of some old games that I really like. And anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks to Rock30 and the crew out there. They were busy as soon as I walked in the door. It was buy two, get one free, 25% off used consoles. And that buy two, get one free applied to used games, movies, Blu-rays, DVDs, etc. And they had a bunch of clearance stuff that they were blowing out too, so they were really busy. I got there about an hour after the store had opened, and they said they'd already sold 2 GameCubes, a PS4, an Xbox One, and a 360 in that first hour that they were open, and then they sold another Xbox One while I was in the store. I picked up a massive amount of stuff that I don't have, a lot of cool stuff, odds and ends that I don't have for the collection, and some more expensive and harder to find titles. And like I said, when it was all said and done, I owed them $31, and I still have my 1,000-point reward thing translates to a $50 discount. I still have that, and I have a bunch more stuff I'm gonna haul out there to trade in, and hopefully, if I get up to a decent enough level, I will probably put it towards an Xbox One for the living room in our house. Now that pretty much all your content is synced across all of it, or I'll put it in our bedroom because my girlfriend can play it then. But either way, thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you maybe this week. No promises. I do have a few eBay things trickling in this week, but nothing. There is one amazing one. I'll take that back, but I'll leave that for a video. I don't know if it'll be this week, but I'll definitely have. Hope to have my gameplay videos edited and back up together, and everyone. Boba's a permanent addition to the show, so thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.